Well, the public address announcer here at Musillo is now about to bring the fans here the introduction of the starting lineups, and we're going to do that for you. There is Ricky Hicks, number 12, the freshman out of Coatesville, and he is lightning quick. That's Mark Caparella, number 14, the other guard and their leading scorer. Number 21 is Tom Peterson. Peterson, a 6'3 senior. Derek Ward, who is a former Rookie of the Week in the ECAC East, PSAC East, is starting. The freshman, number 31, and their one and only big man is Jim Sheehan. He's a junior at 6'6", wears number 43. But Jim, this is a very small team. We were commenting before the game that there are some high school teams with bigger front lines than Westchester.
No doubt about it, and there's the initial introductee from Millersville, number 3, Bobby Bradfield. Joining him, number 5, Claudia Hughes, who had that big ball game against Cheney just Wednesday night. Number 24, Troy Daniels. And number 33, Rob Lawton. And here comes the aforementioned 7'1", number 42, Carlton Thacker. And as I said in the pregame, one of the few clubs that Millersville can stand with on the court. They can run with anybody, they can shoot with anybody, but when it came to standing and rebounding, they were always at a disadvantage. You know, you were talking about the public address system. An interesting thing has just been announced here, been announced several times, which is contrary to the custom here at Millersville and in Philadelphia and many other places in the country, where the first basket by the home team results in actually a waterfall of crepe paper, toilet paper, what have you on the floor, just to signify, hey, we're out of the gate. I always thought it was a kind of fun thing. PSAC has instituted a penalty for that, which will be a technical foul charge to the coach, 2-shot foul, and the other team getting possession of the ball. We'll see if the crowd listens.
Well, I would correct you in only one thing, Jim. It's the NCAA who made that rule. And you're right, the PA announcer here must have mentioned it a half a dozen times, because should the Marauder fans throw anything on the floor, it's 2 free throws for the Rams and possession. Well, here we go. Westchester in their purple and gold. That's Caparella, number 14, and this is Ricky Hicks. And you'll see a dandy point guard in this young man, the freshman out of Coatesville.
Millersville matching up man-to-man on them. Bobby Bradfield has Caparella, the leading scorer.
Caparella puts a little head fake on Bradfield, but good D. Now that is Derek Ward, the other freshman that starts. We mentioned earlier, he's only a 6'3 forward, partially blocked by Bradfield. Good D.
Here comes the express.
Hughes. Yeah, 3.
Pulls it up for a 3.
And Jim, nothing on the floor.
Hey, my hat's off to the Millersville kids. The rule's a rule, and they say, hey, we play by the rules here. Good job, Millersville students.
Well, Hughes picks up where he left off the other night down at Cheney with a 3-pointer right out of the gate, and there's a bad pass by Thacker.
He was about to go out of bounds, Bill. He just uncorked the ball. He comes back. Oh, an inspired stuff by Thacker. And Hughes, 1 pass too many.
2 turnovers for the Marauders in succession. Ward, boy, plays a little ragged here as Ward and Hicks bumped into one another. Little jumper by Sheehan won't go, and there's Hughes. Millersville dominating the boards early, as we thought they might, with their height advantage. Bradfield, yep.
Bobby Bradfield passed up Daniels down the left side, but got down the 6-foot jumper. 5-0 LaVille.
The way Millersville can light it up here at home, this has the potential to be ugly in that it could be very one-sided in favor of Millersville. But as I said, Westchester has won 4 in a row, and they really kept the Marauders at bay down there. Nice follow-up on the offensive rebound by 6'6" Jim Sheehan.
He got great position underneath Thacker.
Hughes again. Nope. Lawton only needs 1 bucket to move into 10th place in Marauder all-time scoring. It wasn't to be. Neither was Daniel follow-up.
It's evident that Westchester is used to being the small club in the game, Bill. That time on the defensive board, They had 4 Rams under the bucket. So they probably don't have the potential to run that much.
Ricky Hicks penetrates and threw up a hook, and it's all of a sudden 4 unanswered Ram points, and it's a 5-4 ball game. Hey, as you well know, if you've played any basketball at all, as Daniel takes one from the baseline and misses, rebounding is mostly positioning, not necessarily size. And so the Rams have won 11 games with this team, 5 in the league. They could take the lead right here for the first time. Hicks pulls it all the way out near half court, and as you can see, he's holding up 2 fingers. So here's a designed half court play.
With 24 seconds left on the shot clock.
Sheehan, nope. Caparella with his first shot, and he misses it. 3rd rebound of the night for Carlton Thacker. Thacker turns and buries one. All 5 Marauder starters average in double figures. Thacker right around a dozen a game.
Thacker wanted that ball up high in the paint, took the reverse pivot jumper. 7-1 and a reverse pivot jump shot is unstoppable, Bill.
That's a 3-point shot that will not go for Tommy Peterson. Hughes is running. He's going to stop, pop, and hit it. Well, Claudius has been warm this week, and he's got 5 already.
We had heard that Hicks was a very exciting backcourt performer, but thus far he's just looked little.
Peterson again. This one he's got. Second leading scorer on the Golden Rams is veteran senior Tommy Peterson, and he cuts the deficit to 9-6 for Westchester.
Westchester tightening up their man-to-man, and good defense by number 21. That's Tom Peterson. Denies Thacker the ball. Rob Bard comes in for Millersville, as does Mike Monroe, number 22.
Well, they're the 2 freshmen that you'll be seeing a lot of here at Millersville in the years to come, Bard and Monroe, and they're in already. This is Monroe. He's been steadily improving. Tough to call these guys freshmen at this point in the season. And remember, Tommy Gaines is in uniform, although expected to play infrequently. He's here. Bard. Yes.
Nice rebound, and he took it to the hole very strongly. Robbie Bard out of Manheim Township High School.
You know, when Bard comes in and Thacker goes out, for the most part, Millersville really falls into a height disadvantage, but not against the Rams. Bard's still the biggest man on the floor. Caparelli, yes, and he's fouled by Bradfield. Caparola gets his first bucket. He averages 17 per game.
Yeah, Bradfield wanted the offensive foul, but didn't get it. Caparola making his way. Number 32, that's Jason Jones. 6'1", 185-pound sophomore from Pottstown. Coming into the border lineup as Caparola adds the penalty foul.
Jason Jones is knocked to the deck, and of course Ricky Hicks called for the blocking foul, even though he disagrees. Surprised to see Jason Jones in the lineup this early. Very unusual to see him in the lineup this early, but he's out there. And we have an early timeout. With 14:29 remaining in this first half, the Marauders are leading the Westchester Rams 11-9. We'll be right back.
We're not showing you the Sugar Bowl's new look because we want you to see it yourself. We still have great pizza, stromboli, sandwiches, grinders, and ice cream. So stop into the new Sugar Bowl behind the football stadium in Millersville. Now you'll find the Millersville Mini Market inside the Sugar Bowl, too.
The Millersville cheerleaders going through a routine. The old domino theory. As Bill said, Jason Jones coming into the game for Millersville. This is the first that we've seen Jason in quality time. Seen him late in the game after it's already won or already lost. But getting a chance to show his wares when it counts and where it counts at Pusilla before the home crowd.
So it's Jason Jones, Mike Monroe in the backcourt, an unusual combination with Claude Hughes, Rob Lawton, and Rob Bard up front. Zone defense being employed. Looks like a 2-3 by the Ram.
Indeed.
Bard pops out high, and Millersville being very patient. Shot clock still with 22 seconds remaining. Now Monroe, does he step in the end line? Well, whether he did or not, he dribbled it out there, so it's a Marauder turnover.
Yeah, all of a sudden the patience disintegrated. And a turnover and the scorer's table. Bringing Bradfield in for Jason Jones.
Well, he can't get in. He's trying to come in, and no one's paying attention to the official, who's saying, you can't come in yet, Bob. So Bradfield must go back. There he goes to the scorer's table, and Jason Jones is back in. Boy, first-year coach Dick Delaney jumped on that right away.
Well, substitution can't be made when that ball's already been played in bounds.
Here's Hicks. Now they got Hughes on Hicks. Hughes at 6'3", guarding the 5'7" Hicks. That gives you some kind of an idea of John Pachan's respect.
Jason Jones guarding Caparola. Mark Caparola, the leading scorer, drawing Jason Jones off the bench.
Hicks penetrates right down the boulevard and throws that one up over Bard. Nice play for Ricky Hicks, and we're tied at 11. Here's a break.
Oh, put it up, Robbie.
Hughes. Nope. Rebound by Peterson. Well, Millersville could again fall behind for the first time in the game.
Bard missed an outstanding opportunity to get that ball back up on the glass.
Caparola. And now Ward. There's a whistle as Ward was dragging that pivot foot. Turnover Rams.
So matching turnovers.
Now Bradfield is back in for Jones, and he joins Mike Monroe in the Marauder backcourt. We're tied at 11, 12:50 left in the first half. Monroe penetrates. Little acting down there as Lawton hits the boards and has it
Good
stripped.
defense by Peterson. Stripped Lawton as he got himself pushed under the bucket too far, really.
Look at Caparola. He draws the contact again and is fouled.
Caparola has a way when he takes off for that jumper, he jumps directly into his man. And it's almost an automatic foul.
Well, Tommy Gaines is getting ready to come in, along with Thacker and Daniel. And that's why we heard, there you hear it. Been about 7 weeks since Tommy Gaines has played. He broke that ankle at the very beginning of the Randolph-Macon game in early January. But he's back, and there he is in the lineup as Caparola completes his second three-point play. He's got 6. And now some full-court pressure by Westchester. Here come the Marauders, 3-on-1. Gaines. Foul.
He got hammered.
Welcome back, Tommy.
Jim Sheehan spreads his hands. No, I didn't do it. Tommy Gaines going to get his first opportunity from the foul line. The Marauders trailing by 3. You know, with a bad ankle or a bad foot, you got a lot of time to practice foul shooting, Bill.
Well,
it's never the same as when it's in crunch time.
Well, he's got 1 out of 2. And, of course, it'll be interesting to see how Tommy's ankle is tomorrow after the action he puts together tonight. There's the real telling tale.
That will not be on live TV.
No, we won't be there. Ward loses the handle, and that's a Ram turnover.
Tommy Gaines playing defense against Ward and stayed right with him in the drive.
John Trawick is checking into the lineup, another freshman. So Dick Delaney with his share of freshmen. John Trawick is a freshman out of Chester, Pennsylvania, one of those talented Chester Clippers.
He's replaced Derek Ward, who's had several
Nice tap in.
turnovers. I think that was actually tapped in by Westchester. Thacker, being the closest marauder to the ball, has to get credit for the bucket.
There's Hicks again, a little short that time, and look at Thacker's bullet outlet pass. That's the way to start a break. Tommy Gaines! I think they're calling a foul on Gaines.
Yeah, but is the goal good?
The goal is good, yes. And the fans nor Tommy don't seem to matter, because that one really signifies the return of Tommy Gaines. An aggressive slam, and he seems okay.
I'll tell you something else. Number 21, Tom Peterson, is not going to stay in that lane the next time Gaines comes down, because he plastered him from one end of the paint to the other.
Here is Peterson trying to answer at the other end, and he does.
Yeah, he does.
Good shooter. We're tied at 16, 11:20 left. Daniel just inside the three is short, and it's loose.
Thacker got away with one there. He almost over the back.
Nice pass, layup for Sheehan. Tell you what, you don't see many teams run with the Marauders, but the Golden Rams with a pretty good break of their own.
Yes, they are. Now you see they're in the zone. In zone defense, I don't care how big or little you are. If you play good position, you can get rebounds, and that's what the Marauders are doing. Tommy Gaines snuffed.
That was the gentleman right there, Peterson. Here's a foul line jumper for Trawick. It's no good, and somebody's pushing underneath. Thacker.
4-2.
First on Carleton.
Number 42, Thacker, his first, team fourth.
There he is, the 7'1" senior, now living in Lidditz, Pennsylvania. Out of Annapolis, Maryland, one of Jim Doherty's favorite towns.
Ah, yes.
Trawick goes right up, and Thacker says, not in here, you don't. Bradfield. Gaines again. This time he simply lays it in.
Nice speed by Bobby Bradfield to tie at 18. Tommy Gaines running well.
Well, we were told he was only at about 75%, but he looks pretty doggone okay right now. Tied at a three-pointer. A little strong, and there's Daniel. Bradfield will try for three.
No.
Trawick.
On Thacker.
Ooh, contact, no whistle. And a break there for Millersville. Look out, there's bodies everywhere. First
Come
down.
on. Oh no, he's calling out a jump ball, and we got a little fight breaking out. No reason he had to jump on Bradfield. Now Troy Daniels going on Sheehan, and benches have cleared. The official left that one get out of hand, Bill. Definitely a foul against Westchester. He jumped on Bradfield, and the best he could call was the jump.
Well, if you watched the end of the Pitt-Georgetown game, we saw a little bit of it right here, and it's not over yet. Daniel and Caparola are still jawing at each other. There was a definite foul that the officials called a jump ball.
Now we're getting...
and then it got wild. Now let's see.
Now we're getting John Cochan.
Well, he's calling both officials.
Well, he's calling the officials because he says that the Ram bench went on the court and his bench didn't.
All right, now Dick Delaney is quite irate.
He doesn't have a leg to stand on.
And now the fans are at it down below us. The fans are at it with the Westchester bench, and the police officers are coming over to try to restore some order. Something is going on below us involving the fans and the Ram bench.
I'll tell you, the Caparola wants a little bit of everybody, doesn't he, Bill? He wanted some of Daniels. Now he was back behind the bench after the spectators. Well, we have a stoppage of play, might you say?
Well,
officials have to take charge of this game.
In my broadcast career, we've done some parades, some tennis, never did boxing. But it was a nice right cross by Troy Daniels.
Troy Daniels definitely gets a point for that one.
Well, Obviously, there's no place for this in basketball, and we hope that cooler heads prevail. We got word from our truck that some indication came from the floor that Troy Daniel has been tossed out. Now, that's unsupported right now. We also see Dr. Gene Carpenter, the athletic director for men's sports here at Millersville, and who will be our halftime guest, is down on the Marauder bench making some kind of or having some kind of a discussion.
24, Troy Daniel has been ejected from the game.
Yep, Troy Daniel has been ejected.
Westchester, bench, and a technical foul on Millersville.
A technical foul called on the Westchester bench and a technical foul called on Millersville. The ejection of Troy Daniel. And, you know, Bill, it didn't have to be.
Nope.
Whenever Bradfield was on the floor and was pounced upon, a good quick foul call would have ended it all.
Absolutely. Absolutely right. You saw it. Bradfield was on the floor, and for a brief moment it looked like the jump ball would be the good call, but then he got rolled over like in wrestling.
He was trying to kick the ball out to, I believe it was Hughes, who was out in front of him.
We all know what happened after that. Sheehan was involved in it. Daniel did come from the other side of the floor, no question, and pop Sheehan.
Bradfield shooting a foul.
And that, I think that right cross gave Troy Daniel an early shower. We have several folks coming here asking if we have a replay, and I wish we did for all of you. Well, Bradfield made both of his fouls. Now here is Mark Caparola, who's going to go shoot the tech at the other end. Listen to this. This guy's a good foul shooter.
Yes, he is.
Matter of fact, I'll tell you in a minute, he's 4 for 4 tonight.
Okay, we're tied at 20 with just under 10 minutes to play. Millersville will be inbounding the ball. I would say that that's because of the alternate possession.
And remember, Troy Daniel, who is the Marauders' second leading scorer, he averages nearly 17 a game, is gone, ejected. Whistle and a push underneath.
Okay.
Now let's see if the officials go the other way.
Well, that's it.
And they'll call every little touch foul the rest of the night.
And now Caparola's gone after the official. He's gotten Millersville players, he's gotten the Millersville crowd, now he's got the official.
All right, Bobby Bradfield will inbound, and we'll try to get back to basketball here with 9:49 left in the half. Here's Lawton. The loss of Hughes is critical. Daniel, excuse me. Second leading scorer in the Marauders. Didn't score any yet tonight, however. Good news is Tommy Gaines is back and playing well. Lawton, and he's knocked to the deck. Foul on Trawick, his first.
Lawton will go to the line to shoot 2.
Number 34, Trawick is first, team 4. Lawton shoots 2.
Remember, Rob Lawton needs but 2 to move into 10th place in the all-time Marauder scoring list. And maybe we're jinxing him because he can't seem to get him. Rob is scoreless on the night, as was Daniel. Misses both of them. Sheehan has the rebound.
Lawton had a very quiet outing against Shaney. He only got 4 points in that game. Tied at 20.
Westchester's playing well right now, as we've mentioned before. They've won 4 in a row. They're 5-4 in the league, in the Eastern Division. And it won't be easy for Millersville here tonight. Now, made even tougher by Daniel's ejection. Gaines, little 8-footer, baseline short. Look at Hughes battle, but he can't get it.
Westchester running. They have a 3-on-2.
Lawton with great hustle. Steals it from behind.
Became a 3-on-3 in a hurry.
Hughes with an NBA three-pointer. Yeah.
That man has a way of picking up the slack when you need it, Bill.
Hughes now with 8 to lead the Marauders. 5 for Tommy Gaines off of John Cochan's bench. 8:20 left first half, and it's been a volatile one. Here's Hicks. Yes, Ricky Hicks has a half dozen. Marauders by 1. Gaines is posting down low. Back to Bradfield. Bradfield for three. Strong. Back to the left. Didn't hit anything but glass. Right. Here's a three at the other end. That one's no good for Caparola, and Lawton has it. Hughes, yes.
Very nice touch coming across the key, kissing it off the glass.
I'll tell you, when he made the decision to leave the Hampton Institute, what a break for Millersville when he transferred here. What a sensational player he's been for 2 years. Hicks, nice pass, but Gaines cut it off. Foul. Is Gaines okay as he goes down hard, and Tommy Peterson helps him up. First on Tom.
Number 21, Peterson is first, team fifth. 44, Rob Bard in the lineup. Marauders, number 31, Ward.
Rob Bard has returned
Westchester.
for Millersville. And our first look at Mike O'Malley, a 6'5 junior, number 33 in the lineup for the Rams.
6'5" brings him into the second tallest man on the floor, except the tallest, because he's replacing Sheehan, I believe. Gaines misses from the charity stripe again.
Tommy now 1 for 3, 5 points in the ball game. Misses. Whoop. O'Malley almost did the Marauders a favor.
Kept the ball alive, captured the rebound, and this is the ever-dangerous Hicks.
.705 left, clock running here in the first half. We're live on Cable 22. Bill Arnold and Jim Doherty. There's a push by Gaines, pretty obvious. Second on Tommy. Skills are a little rusty. This is the first game action he's seen in nearly 7 weeks. Mike Monroe is back in.
Foul a lot of Gaines, the second team, bro.
And now a timeout. So with 6:59 remaining in the first half, and Millersville hanging in there but clinging to a 3-point advantage, we'll take this commercial timeout.
Good girl, Keith.
Watch Best Friends every Monday and Thursday at 7 p.m. only on Cable Channel 22. And see the animals at the Humane League who need a home.
Well, there are the Rams, trailing by 3, excuse me. But very much a part of this ball game. And unfortunately, having a player advantage, Millersville kind of short in numbers to start with. However, being able to utilize Jason Jones, a sophomore, earlier in the game, and having Tommy Gaines back, giving a little more depth.
Okay, here's Hicks pulling it out as the Rams set up their half-court offense. Monroe with the unenviable job of trying to stop the lightning-quick Ricky Hicks. This is O'Malley. Uh-oh, Caparola open from 3, and he's got it. So that ties the game at 25 as Mark Caparola now has 11 to lead all scorers. Hughes will try from 3, and he's got one.
This is really a shootout. You know, Caparola's three-pointer was major league distance also, Bill.
Hughes now has 13. He leads all scorers as Bobby Bradfield tries to keep Caparola in check. Here's Hicks. Leans in. Nice dish off to O'Malley, and Rob Bard belts him.
He took one. That's not a bad foul. Not a bad foul for Rob. A lot of movement away from the ball for Westchester. They get a lot of people picking and screening into the key, trying to get somebody open down on the baseline. Millersville, on the other hand, a lot of ball movement, working against that defense to try to get the open shot by Claude Hughes and company. O'Malley hits the first one. 28-26.
Mike O'Malley, a hometown boy from right in Westchester, Bishop Shanahan High School.
Good concentration.
You know what? That's a heck of a foul shooting team. They're now 6 for 6 here, Jim, in the first half. They're right in this ball game, down by only one. 5:55 left, first half. Lawton down low, and there's a whistle foul on, is that Ward who managed to sneak back in? It is. Derek Ward and his first, the freshman.
Lawton still unable to get a shot off. You know, he has it blocked. He had it picked away. Yeah, he did take a jumper earlier that he didn't hit.
Millersville, a rather dismal 3 for 9 now from the free throw line, unofficially by my stats, 3 for 9. And there's a 6-point swing, and of course we just mentioned the Rams have 6. Now 4 for 10. What was that whistle all about? Oh, timeout. The Marauders called time. John Cochan, I guess, even though we just had a timeout a minute and a half ago or so, wants to talk about something else. So there's timeout again on the floor. We'll keep this one right here with the Marauders leading 29-27 to kind of give you a look as best we can as to what's coming up on Cable 22. First of all, and this is easy, Monday night we will be right back here at Fusillo for a non-league game with Lock Haven. We will be bringing you that contest live on Cable 22 Monday night, the 22nd against Lock Haven. Then, Lancaster Lebanon League playoffs begin, and there's a darn good bet that Cable 22 will be involved in the Hempfield Manheim Township boys playoff, and maybe even the Catholic Township girls playoff. I don't know how we'll work it all out, but we're looking into it and waiting to hear where the games will be played, and we'll let you know a little later. And of course, we also have plans on bringing you the Lancaster Lebanon League title action later next week. And I believe we also mentioned earlier, if Millersville keeps winning and does in fact finish in second place in the East, they will host the first round of the Eastern Division playoffs Monday night the 29th, probably against Cheney. We will be here.
Very good rundown, Bill. Sounds like an exciting schedule. It's our pleasure to join you. Now it's the Rams. O'Malley working in the pivot.
Nope. And Hughes is there. Marauders by a scant 2. 5:15 left in the half. Monroe's been quiet offensively, and now he's going to have a shot at it because Caparola, with his first foul, sends the Marauders into the bonus, I believe. So Mike Monroe, the freshman out of Philly, should be shooting 1 and 1.
Monroe shoots 1 and 1.
Caparola with 1 foul. Sheehan, the big center, 6'6", 2 fouls, the only person with more than 1 for the Rams. And
dismal foul shooting from Millersville, Jim. Never get that second opportunity.
It's almost like they're playing on an away court. You know, never saw this basket before.
Well, the Rams can tie.
Man-to-man defense by Millersville, and the Rams picking and crossing.
Or can take the lead.
Yeah.
I knew as soon as I said that I should have said or can take the lead, and Mark Caparola makes me eat my words. It's 30-29, second lead of the first half for the Rams.
Well, that picking and rolling reduces some of the pressure on Caparola and lets him get off a clean 3-pointer.
Well, as you can see, nice move in the air by O'Malley, but he misses.
Great defense by Claude Hughes, went up right with him.
Hughes, he's going to try from 3. That one's short, and there's a whistle. Is that barred away from the ball?
I believe so.
And that will send Westchester to the line because that's Millersville's 7th team foul.
I think that's going to be Tom Peterson shooting. And Thacker and Gaines enter the lineup for Millersville, replacing Monroe and Bard. And Sheehan comes back in for Westchester. I'd say that's a responsive move, Bill.
Sure.
They put the 7-1 man in. Millersville put 6'6" Jim Sheehan in, replacing 6'5" O'Malley.
Well, let's see if the advantage from the foul line continues, and it does.
They shoot the lights out of it from 15 feet.
Yeah, they haven't missed. They're 7 for 7, while the Marauders are, I believe, 4 for 11. I'll have to check. 8 for 8 now for the Rams.
Rams up by 3. Perhaps Millersville can go to the inside game. They have Thacker in there now, and he's been effective on the inside.
Thacker's going to turn. Nobody there to rebound, but we don't need it.
Tommy Gaines was filtering in from the backside.
Millersville with a big front line now. Lawton, Gaines, and Thacker. Hughes and Bard are at guard. That's what makes Claudius Hughes so valuable. He can swing either way. Peterson goes up on Hughes and misses. Rebound, Hughes. Look out. Players are falling.
I think Hughes just got away with a carry.
Well, Lawton gets that bucket. And the Marauders are back on top by a point. 3:20 left.
That took a while.
Lawton is on Hicks. That's kind of a mismatch as far as quickness is concerned. Look out as Thacker tries to save, and the big guy had him scattering in the front row.
Good effort by Thacker. It's going to be Westchester's ball, but Thacker is really working under the bucket.
Hicks, good defense by Lawton. Forced him to come up short, and the Marauders are running. Westchester back, though, in a hurry, and they stop it.
And nobody on the boards.
Well, that was really a 2-on-3.
Or 2-on-4 or 1-on-4.
2:40 left. The Millersville Marauders, after winning a gigantic game on the road, struggling here at home against the Rams. Peterson hustles and gets the loose ball. Caparola is open, misses. Rebound, Hicks at 5'7", but he misses, and there's a whistle.
Gonna hit Sheehan coming over Claudius Hughes. Boy, some real good efforts by some undersized people. Hicks, Caparola, and finally Hughes, who does in fact secure the ball.
Well, Trawick quickly gets back in there at 6'6", because that is foul number 3 on Jim Sheehan, and he's gonna, I'm sure, take it to the pine for the final 2:20 of this half.
Rob Lawton has now moved into 10th place on the all-time Marauder scoring list. With that bucket he got a moment ago.
Well, there's a rare foul shot made by Millersville, as Dan Augustine, a junior out of Kennett Square, just checked in to the Ram lineup at guard.
Replacing Hicks.
And 1 out of 2 is all they can manage. Millersville by a bucket with 2:15 left. This is Augustine running the offense right now. Trawick will take it. Nope. And I think Tommy Gaines has got number 3.
Yep. Forcing the issue on that loose ball, but kind of railed against number 31, Derek Ward, I believe. Ward will go to the line with an opportunity to tie.
Rob Bard's going to give Tommy Gaines a rest, and as I said earlier, he will probably spend the rest of the first half on the bench. That is, I said it as far as it applied to Sheehan. Hey, there's a miss. Peterson hustles for that loose ball. He's done that a couple of times. Caparola. Nope. And Thacker has that one.
I'll tell you, Thacker's 7'1", but he's taking a little punishment in there that's...
Look at Bard. Yep, won't go. Thacker follows it in.
Thacker just got popped in the jaw after that one. I was saying he's taking some punishment in there.
Millersville now by 4. Good hustle by Hughes. Couldn't quite get it. Trawick. Down underneath is Ward. He can't get it to go. Trawick, and there's a foul.
Yep.
Well, Thacker coming over to help out ends up getting called for the foul, but good D by Carlton.
Yeah, going up for the rebound, Bard got knocked down and leaving his man, number 34, Trawick, wide open.
John Trawick missed the only Ram foul shot of the half just a moment ago. Now he's back to shoot 2. Looks like they got the right guy on the line.
Yeah, they'll remember him for intentional foul time.
6'6" freshman out of Chester. 0 for 2. So much for your 1,000 shooting percentage. Trawick has missed 3 straight. Lawton, look at that move.
Whoa, wow, with authority. Trawick just watched him go by.
38-32, the Marauders by 6, and we're under a minute.
I think Trawick wondered what was the destination of that train.
Yeah, Rob found a seam, and he took it home with authority. Here's
Good
Ward.
defense by Lawton shutting down the back door.
Good D by Rob Bard there, too, and Hughes is coming the other way. Westchester's back, though, and that's a forced pass. Hughes is right there to get it back. And Thacker.
Jumping out to an 8-point lead are these Marauders. Really, by just being persistent, not particularly good, just keeping after the ball, hustling the loose balls, and playing defense. Caparola being corralled by Monroe. It's really not been a part of the offense in the past 4 minutes.
Only 5 seconds left, so Peterson lets it fly. Won't go, and that's halftime. So a real nice surge by Millersville at the end of the half gives them their most comfortable lead. Millersville leading in a fight-plagued first half with Troy Daniels being tossed for the game, but the Marauders lead it at halftime 40-32.
The restaurant that cares for you. That's our motto at the Stone Mill Family Restaurant at 1550 Columbia Avenue, Lancaster. And we do care for you with a daily breakfast special until 11 a.m. and our buy one, get one free specials on Tuesday and Friday. Tuesday offers our delectable baked chicken, and Friday it's fried or broiled flounder fresh from the sea, both at buy one, get one free prices. For early or late dining in our fresh new atmosphere, sample our daily super specials from 2 to 4 and 8 to 10 p.m. The place for good food at special prices is the Stone Mill Family Restaurant, the restaurant that cares for you.
This is a plug for James F. Wild with 8 locations in Lancaster to serve you.
Let's talk business. Graduation's not the end, it's the beginning. You need the education and confidence to take on what lies ahead. Here at Palmer School, you can get an ASB degree in business administration or secretarial science. You can select accounting, medical office assistant, word processing specialist, or professional security guard. At Palmer School, we assist you with everything from financial aid to job placement. So call us at 392-1700.
It's your call. You can enjoy the fresh baked quality from Domino's Pizza or take your chances with the Noid. You can have pizza made to your order, or you can count on our famous 30-minute delivery, or you can taste the quality from Domino's Pizza, so avoid the Noid. Domino's Pizza delivers. Call now.
Okay, we're back at halftime, Jim Doherty, and we've got a busy halftime for you. We've got Dr. Gene Carpenter, the men's athletic director, that will be joining Jim Doherty live in just a couple of minutes. We also have, as always, our about 3-minute look at Millersville University. There's a look right now at the Millersville pep band and part of the crowd here at Fusillo. What a dynamite first half we had, Jim Doherty. It's a shame it had to be marred by that fight, and there's no other way of putting it. But as we've all agreed, and I don't know if you and Dr. Carpenter will get into it, but the officials, I think, allowed it to happen in that they didn't call that jump ball or a foul right away when Bobby Bradfield went to the deck, and it did result in Troy Daniel being ejected, and he left the game with about 9 minutes elapsed, and that's all we saw of Troy.
Yeah, well, the score was 18-18 then, and in all fairness to the officials, I think they have, again, recaptured control of the game. The balance of the game has been going on pretty well officiated and without any further incident. And, hey, it's basketball time now. The fights are over. Millersville with a late rush coming out to a 40-32 lead. Carlton Packer, big man defensively, on the boards, offensively. He's putting together one of those great games that he is capable of.
And a comment on Tommy Gaines, come off the bench early, in fact earlier than we thought, chipped in with 5 points, including that dynamic slam, and he looks pretty good out there, obviously not at 100%, but particularly in the absence of Daniel, he will be a big help for the Marauders here tonight. Well, we're going to go, first of all, back to our studios for our taped look at the campus life at Millersville University, and then we'll be back with Jim Doherty and Dr. Gene Carpenter, the Millersville Athletic Director. We'll be right back.
Millersville University is the University of Lancaster County. Founded as a private teacher training school in 1855, Millersville is now one of the 14 universities of the state system of higher education. Degree programs are available in a wide range of fields. Approximately 7,000 students, many of them Lancaster County residents, study at Millersville. Many local residents attend the university on a part-time basis, both at the undergraduate and graduate level. Some seek skills necessary for career advancement, and others work toward a degree. The university serves the community, too, by offering non-credit courses and specialized workshops and courses both on and off campus. Millersville's academic offerings include more than 100 low-cost, high-quality programs in its 3 schools: the School of Science and Mathematics, the School of Humanities and Social Sciences, and the School of Education. In addition to degree programs in the traditional liberal arts and teacher training fields, the university curriculum includes majors in business administration, meteorology, computer science, nursing, medical technology, nuclear medicine, and industrial technology. For students seeking highly challenging academics, the university provides an honors program. Also available are pre-professional programs such as pre-med, pre-law, and cooperative engineering. The university also enriches the Lancaster County community through a variety of special events: concerts, plays, art exhibits, and lectures. The Center for Politics and Public Affairs brings to campus well-known political leaders whose lectures are open to the public. And Millersville's Cultural Affairs Committee annually offers students and local residents a full schedule of films, concerts, dance programs, and stage shows. The university supports its students with numerous services, including personal and academic counseling, tutoring, placement assistance, and recreational and intramural sports programs. In intercollegiate sports, Millersville has a diversified 18-sport program for men and women. The Marauders compete in one of the nation's best small college leagues, the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference, and vie for NCAA Division II honors in 15 sports. Scholarships are available to highly qualified students in the arenas of sports and academics. Many scholarships are possible because of the contributions made by businesses, friends, employees, parents, and alumni of the university. More than 6,000 alumni of Millersville reside in Lancaster County, and many are involved in programs to support excellence in all areas of the university. You're invited to visit Millersville's park-like campus. Enjoy the beautiful area around the lake, explore the library and art galleries, and tour the well-maintained buildings. Get to know Millersville. It's your university. For further information, write to the Office of Admissions, Millersville University, Millersville, Pennsylvania, 17551, or call 872-3371.
My pleasure to have as our halftime guest Dr. Gene Carpenter, Director of Athletics, Millersville University. Gene, as always, my pleasure.
It's always good to be here, Jim.
Outstanding basketball game tonight.
Well, it's exciting. There's a great crowd.
It certainly is. Millersville with a decided advantage in field goal percentage. On the other side of the coin, Westchester with a decided advantage in the foul shooting percentage.
Well, I think that's been the big difference, the free throws. We've been missing more than we have in the past, and we're not hitting as well even on the outside as they played. We've been a little inconsistent. John, I think our coaching staff's done a great job with this basketball team this year to have them in the position where we're at right now, that we kind of control our own destiny, and if we can win our next 3 conference games, we'll host Cheney here for the final spot in the Final Four of the PSAC. So I'm really pleased with the effort.
Great. It's also nice to see Tommy Gaines back in action.
Well, I knew that Tommy was going to come back tonight and play a little bit. He's just such a super young man and a great character kid that I think he has to get acclimated a little bit. As soon as he does that, I think he's going to be a real factor here down the stretch.
Sure, you don't miss 7 weeks and just come back in putting the feet down at the same place you picked them up.
No question about that.
John Cochan and his staff, as you suggest, doing an outstanding job. They've really gotten through the meat of their schedule with a 7-man club. Just Monroe and Bard coming off the bench. Now tonight, I guess he must think he has a plethora of athletes with using Jason Jones, having the availability of Gaines. Then unfortunately the loss of Daniels offsets that.
Well, there's no question. That's really been a factor with our ball club. I think that there were some games that we lost this year. If we had a little more depth on our bench, why, I think that would have made a big difference. There's no question that the loss of Tommy Gaines in the early part of that season, but they have just done a great job of recouping. It's a great deal of courage in those kids that are playing most of the time. I think Rob Bard from Manheim Township I saw his parents earlier this evening, and he has just made a tremendous adjustment to college basketball. It's just such a difference in the high school game, and you could see that early in the season, but he has come on and he's getting there with some of the big boys and scoring a couple key points at different times, so he's been a big plus for them too.
There's a rumor that's been circulated by our friend By Kinzer that there's some real size coming to the Millersville basketball next year.
Well, I think we have some big people down there. We have this transfer from Maryland that I think John's counting on a little bit. He hasn't worked himself into Marauder conditioning yet, but and Jan Cowie, who transferred in from East Stroudsburg, was without a question here in our tournament a year ago. Their outstanding player, might have been the outstanding player of the tournament, should really add to the program. I think that that next year he's already signed 2 young men to letters of intent. He's looking at another 1 or 2, and we should have a really fine ball club here next year, Jim.
Well, I'm certain with the ingredients that you're able to recruit, and then you add John Cochan's coaching, I'm sure it will. Talking about recruiting, what kind of a year did the Marauder football staff have recruiting?
Well, we're not like the Division I schools in the fact that we're saying we're finished yet. We're pleased early. We had a few downers this week. We lost a couple linemen that we were very interested in, but overall, I think our recruiting, Jim Kettner, who coordinates our recruiting, and Stan Kabazinski and Chris Collar, who've done much of the road work, have done a great job in the staff evaluating the athletes, and we had our top 45 already visit, and we're in kind of our second phase of our visitations now. And of course, I feel at the skill positions that we have done very well. We're still working hard on a cornerback that we lost to Delaware that we're hoping that we can replace that position. And I'd like to get 1 or 2 linemen yet. If we can do that, it would really feel good about our group.
Well, I'm sure with the group that Jim Kettner brings in, and he had the experience and expertise of Gene Carpenter, that it'll be another successful Marauder football season. And
we're certainly going to work hard at it.
Of which cable TV will be very pleased to have a small part, broadcasting the games. And with that, may I thank you again, my good friend, Athletic Director Gene Carpenter, Millersville University. We'll be back with the second half right after these messages.
Nestled deep within Tanger Hall on the campus of Millersville University is a place where fantasies can be fulfilled. Venture to the costume shop and turn your party, event, or holiday into the happening of the year with our load collection of 8,000 costumes. Transform yourself into the character of your choice from history, films, books, or fantasy. Open year-round for all of your party, seasonal, or theatrical needs. Come, live your imagination at the Costume Shop in the basement of Tanger Hall on the Millersville University campus. For rentals or further info, call 872-3767.
Never before has so much technology been applied to the marriage of meat and bun.
You can cut the time it takes to make a burger.
Autos, shoes, and convertibles.
You can cut the time it takes to cook one.
Hamburgers.
And in the end, you can cut the heart right out of a burger. All in the name of good business. Well, at Hardee's, we put a little extra care into each hamburger we serve so we can make this cut in the name of good taste. Because at Hardee's, we're out to win you over.
At Harwilco Cycle, you'll get more than just a bike and a sales receipt. You'll get 2 free services, a comprehensive warranty on every product they sell, experienced sales help to ensure proper fit and ride, a full line of cycling clothing and accessories, and a choice of top brands in the bicycle industry, all fully assembled at no extra charge. So whether you're a weekend biker or a hardcore enthusiast, you'll find it all at Harwilco Cycle, 626 West Orange Street in Lancaster.
Subway has arrived in Lancaster, except this Subway is a quick transport to appetite satisfaction. Enjoy our fresh subs, salads, and rolls baked on the premises in foot-long or 6-inch sizes. The ticket to the Subway is the word fresh. Feast on our succulent seafood or savory roast beef, turkey, or ham. You can catch the Subway in Lancaster on the corner of Prince and Orange Street from 10 a.m. to 2 a.m. 7 days a week. The best way, the only way, Subway.
Second half action coming your way. The Marauders of Millersville with an 8-point lead, having lost Troy Daniels in a first half altercation, but benefiting from the return to action of Tommy Gaines. Rob Lawton playing very aggressively, but not getting a whole lot to show for it, Bill.
Jim, I don't know whether you had an opportunity to mention individual scoring. So I'll take just a moment as the buzzer is about to sound and let you know that Claude Hughes is on his way to another dandy effort. 14 points, and he leads the Marauders in scoring here at halftime. 8 for Carlton Thacker, and as Jim so aptly mentioned, he really did a nice job in the closing minutes of that first half. 5 for Tommy Gaines off the bench, 2 for Rob Bard, 4 for Bobby Bradfield. As he usually does, Mark Caparola leads the Golden Rams. He has 14 with a perfect 4 for 4 from the free throw line, 6 for Peterson, 6 for Ricky Hicks, 2 for Mike O'Malley, and 4 for Sheehan, the 6'6 center. So really, no real surprises there. Millersville up by 8, and as you can see, we're ready to go.
Probably a key to Millersville's success, the field goal percentage of Westchester, 11 for 39, just 28%, which yields leading rebounders, Thacker and Hughes, each with 9. Sheehan with 5, the leading rebounder for Westchester. And here we go, the Marauders up by 8.
Mike Monroe gets the second half start in place of the aforementioned nice block by Thacker, Troy Daniels, and they're running as Hughes picked up the loose ball on the break. Well, you get the ball to Thacker down there, he's tough. And he's picking right up where he left off at the end of the first half. He's got 10.
A little bit of ragged ball handling coming up court, but fortunately the Marauders on the wings were able to get the ball one to another.
10-point Millersville lead is their largest. Ricky Hicks, who started out strong and ended up real quiet from about the 8-minute mark on in.
Mike Monroe now guarding the ever-dangerous Caparola, who's trying to get lost back on the baseline.
Hicks, Lawton lost that one.
Yep.
He was battling the freshman Derek Ward. Ward, who we mentioned earlier, was a PSAC Rookie of the Week earlier, is scoreless. There's a miss.
Sheehan with the rebound, the attempted shot, and Thacker just says goodbye.
We mentioned earlier the Rams a very small team, and Thacker's 7-1 height advantage more personified against Westchester, more so than usual. Ward, and I mentioned he was scoreless, and bang, he gets one. 42-34, Millersville. Bradfield for three.
No, Sheehan with the rebound.
Big, bulky body. And Sheehan is the leading rebounder on the Rams squad as Hicks misses again. He's kind of cold here to start off the second half.
Hot potato.
Hughes. Monroe looked like maybe a little pushing off. Now there's a push. Still not a whistle. Bradfield will try for another three.
No.
Not the night for Bobby Bradfield, I guess. Look at that. Hughes again. Another rebound and another bucket.
Yeah, Lawton with a turnaround air ball, which Hughes just put back up, 44-34. Millersville shot percentage certainly not anything to brag about as Ward comes through again.
Derek Ward is warming up. Here's Hughes again. Nope. Rebound is up into the crowd and off of Monroe, I believe. 44-36. And here's our first look at Jim Falcone, another freshman, 6-foot guard.
He's out of Eddystone, Pennsylvania. Handling in the backcourt.
Yeah, Ricky Hicks not playing very well the last couple of minutes, so Dick Delaney gets him on the bench right away.
Falcone had the screen but did not take the shot. Peterson will.
Rebound.
Forced a bit.
Hughes now has 11 rebounds in the game. Bradfield keeps trying. That one goes. Marauders by 11 with 16:50 left in the game. When we get a chance, maybe during a timeout or a foul, we'll remind you again, in case you weren't with us earlier, just how important this game is to Millersville and their hopes of hosting the first round playoff game on Monday, the 29th of February. This is Falcone, and now to Ward and back to Jim Falcone.
Just a whole lot of ball movement, cutting, and travel call on Sheehan, trying to handle in the paint. Turnover, Westchester. Millersville with a chance to increase the lead.
Monroe serving as point guard right now. Stops his dribble way out high and now gets it into Lawton. Good pass, good dish to Thacker.
Used to Lawton, and Lawton went up with that look on his face like, I'm going to stuff it, and deftly passed off to Thacker. And a timeout called on the floor. And with 16 minutes to play, it's the Marauders by 13.
Do you know how much your jewelry is worth? Insurance companies need to know the current replacement value of your jewelry. At Spadea & Company, we have a full gem lab. Our certified gemologists will appraise your jewelry while you wait. So call Spadea & Company Jewelers Gemologist, 240 Manor Avenue in Millersville for an appointment. All appraisals are kept in strict confidence. Call Spadea & Company today at 872-8384. American Gem Society.
Millersville with a 9-4 surge here to open the second period, and you've got even more on that, Jim. What a 20-4 surge in the last 7 minutes, and Thacker has had a dozen of those 20 points.
Yeah, this has really been a big 7-minute period extending back into the end of the first half, and Millersville has just completely blown away. Thacker's the big man, which gives the Marauders a decided advantage over the Rams. Meanwhile, Claude Hughes and company matching up very favorably against the purple-clad Rams.
You can see the way they sag and give Sheehan that shot. Well, now Thacker comes out on him.
Now they just went into man defense now.
Falcone, they gave him a seam. Thacker comes over, and I think Carlton just picked up number 3. That's the one thing you got to watch out with Carlton. He does get in a little bit of foul trouble.
Yeah, you know, when he does not play aggressively, he does not get into foul trouble, but he doesn't make that total contribution. Now he wants it. He feels it. Falcone misses the first.
This is the third different point guard that the Rams have used tonight. And as I said about 2 minutes ago when Jim came in the game, it's our first look at it. Well, he gets 1 out of 2. It's 49-37. Marauders by a dozen. I believe that's a mistake. You have 49-37, Jim? Okay.
Yep.
Thacker again.
Thacker just working over top of 6'6" Jim Sheehan.
Well, they found the Achilles heel, and they are going to him and going to him. Great job by Thacker.
This Achilles heel is about 9 feet in the air.
Rebound Monroe. The Rams are back on defense, though. Lawton finds Bradfield open for 3. Won't go. Sheehan with another rebound. He's approaching.
And the Rams are running 2-on-1 against Bradfield.
Nice job by Falcone, and the bucket from Derek Ward. Ward has all 3 Ram buckets in this half. Millersville by it, an even dozen. 14:45 left. Thacker! A jump hook, and Thacker has 16.
What can you say about this big guy? He just keeps doing it and doing it at both ends of the court.
Thacker and Claude Hughes now, both with 16 for team scoring honors. And remember again, Marauders playing without Troy Daniels, who was ejected about midway through that first half.
Good job by Bobby Bradfield. He had gotten picked off by Sheehan and came around behind Falcone, nudged that ball out of bounds. Bradfield had a word to say to Sheehan about the pick. We'll be back after these messages.
We're not showing you the Sugar Bowl's new look because we want you to see it yourself. We still have great pizza, stromboli, sandwiches, grinders, and ice cream. So stop into the new Sugar Bowl behind the football stadium in Millersville. Now you'll find the Millersville Mini Market inside the Sugar Bowl, too.
Well, there's the Marauder huddle. And a look at the Millersville cheerleaders. Well, I'll tell you.
That's a real pyramid.
We can barely get a bite of hot dog in, and we're back from the commercial break.
Thanks a lot, buddy.
No, I'm still working on part of mine. 14:22 left and just before the timeout. Coach Delaney sent Davis Hadley into the lineup. Our first look at Hadley. Before the game, I spoke to Westchester's SID very briefly, and he says, hey, he might play everybody. He's been known to use them all, and it looks like he's trying that tonight. Blocked by Thacker.
Jason Jones back in for Millersville, and again, the sloppy ball handling is nonetheless picked up by Millersville.
Bradfield has all of a sudden hit 2 of those 3-pointers. He's got 10 in the ball game. Largest lead right now at 17.
Jason Jones again draws Mark Caprola and really shuts him out.
There's a 3-point attempt by Falcone that didn't go. Look at that pass by Lawton. Contact and a blocking foul on Falcone.
Yep.
First on Jim. Should send Rob Lawton to the line to shoot 2. Rob's had kind of a rough night there. He's 1 for 4.
And he's getting, every time he drives, he's getting fouled or getting the shot flags. He had very few free shots at the field. He's made some very nice passes inside, which resulted in Marauder scores.
We mentioned earlier that the way Millersville does play here at home, the potential of a blowout was there. But the way Westchester played until the final 3 minutes, I didn't think that would happen. And of course, it still may not. But with an 18-point lead, it sure is borderline blowout right now with 13:40 left. A lot of time, though, and that's the good news for the Rams. Caparola. And now to Ward. Back to Mark. Whistle. What was that?
They hit Jason Jones with a foul.
Jason Jones, they say, grabbing on Caparola.
First, team second.
Only the second team foul on the Marauders. For that matter, Westchester with only 1 team foul. Well, Millersville sure is cutting it close and no substitutions. Tommy Gaines gets back in for Thacker. And Dick Delaney's not happy with that. He was complaining again. But now they're sending Gaines back out of the lineup.
I didn't see why the officials can't control the substitution without the official, or without the coach having to ask for that. They won't let Tommy Gaines come in. Okay, I guess he was coming in for Thacker. Yeah,
Right.
okay, yeah.
There's John Cochan, and you saw him walk to the end of the bench and say something to Dr. Carpenter on your screen. There's a foul, pretty obvious.
Gonna get Jones again.
Well, guarding this Caparola is a full-time job.
Jones is second.
Yeah, he didn't shoot the ball. It should.
Number 11, Tommy Gaines.
You're going to inbound the ball?
Vice Thacker.
Looking back over their season,
Caparola shoots
He never let the ball go, but they gave him a two-shot foul. Okay.
this guy's a good foul shooter, too. He's now 5 for 5. We look back over the year, he had 20 in one game, 17. There he is with 25, 25, 19, 22, 23. So he's a good one.
Full court pressure by the Rams.
And Mark Caparola has 16 tonight. Those foul shots, his first points of the second half, though, Jim.
That's exactly right.
Hughes. 13-15 left in the game as Jason Jones handles far from the basket. Hughes loses the handle. You don't see that very often. Just didn't catch it very cleanly.
Ball bounced off his chest.
Falcone. There's a whistle. And who's that on? Falcone, I believe. Well, Jim's come into the game and been involved in a lot of the action. Not all very positive, though, for the Rams.
You know, that time he charged Bradfield. Now Thacker returns for Gaines.
And Carlton Thacker, as you can see on your screen, was indicating the timeout signal, and he gets it. So with 13:03 left in the game, Millersville has expanded their 8-point halftime lead. They lead now 57-41.
Dimple. Good girl. Good girl, King.
Watch Best Friends every Monday and Thursday at 7 p.m. only on Cable Channel 22. And see the animals at the Humane League who need a home.
Well, John Cochan, some last-minute instructions to his players. That's Tim Trier, who assists John. Tim out of the Conestoga Valley area. Jason Jones is still in there with Bradfield, Hughes, Thacker, and Gaines.
And all 10 players are in Millersville's backcourt. Caprola playing Bradfield.
Lob down low, and somebody, Peterson, was grabbing Tommy Gaines.
Yeah, Tommy broke away to the bucket to take Hughes' pass, and they hit Peterson with the foul.
Peterson is second, team third.
2 on Tommy Peterson, and only the third team foul, so Jones inbounds under the Marauder bucket. 12:53 left to go. Bradfield, no. Hughes, nice lob, and there's Thacker in the low post, and he's tough.
His accuracy tonight is amazing. He's putting that ball down with ease.
He feels it. 18 in the ball game for the big guy. Peterson being hounded by Hughes. Nice move down low by that Davis Hadley, but it wouldn't go. And Peterson grabbing again.
I believe that's his third coming up, Bill.
Yep. Still, though, no shooting.
21 Peterson's third, team fourth.
There's our good friend John Graham from Cable 22, right behind the official down on the first row of courtside, or is it? I believe that's John.
We saw him. We saw him here. I'm not sure if that is he or not.
There's a foul as they are managing to find Thacker down low, and there's something, Westchester has to do something to deny that pass into Thacker.
Davis Hadley with the foul.
And quickly the Rams are getting into foul trouble as far as team fouls are concerned. Now they find Gaines down low. Tommy, back to Hughes. Hughes finds room in the middle, misses. Rebound, Hadley.
Davis Hadley. I have a tremendous desire to call him Hadley Davis. Don't ask me why.
Sheehan. Yes, good strong move by Peterson. I beg your pardon. Tommy Peterson with his 8th point. Jason Jones with a nice dish off. Big game for Carlton Thacker, and I know our good friend Greg Wright will be starting to look at his all-time scoring high, as he has to be getting close. Jumper, good again by Peterson. He is the second leading scorer in the Rams, and he's warming up a bit right now. Still, though, Millersville up by a comfortable 16.
Falco just wrapped Jason Jones across the nose.
Jimmy's only played about 7 minutes, but well, now he's going out. He's getting his money's worth. And Ricky Hicks comes back in, as does Lawton and Monroe for Millersville. Thacker stays in there. Carlton has 20 to lead the Marauders. Now they get it to Gaines down low. He scored.
Gaines was covered by Derek Ward, but a little fake and a little push, and Ward was deposited.
Pretty obvious that Westchester cannot stay with Millersville. Hold it. There's a good bucket and a push off by Davis Hadley.
Yeah, he just blew Bradfield up close to midcourt.
Mark Caparola hit his first bucket of the second half, and it will count. He now has 18 in the ball game.
I think Bradfield's going to be going to the line. Westchester's over the foul limit. So Millersville with an opportunity to improve what was first half atrocious foul shooting.
Yeah, what was that first half foul shooting? I didn't have a chance to look. A nifty 38% for the Marauders.
Right.
While the Rams shot at 73%. Of course, that's academic now, as Bradfield misses.
Yep.
Here's Ricky Hicks. Penetrates down low, throws it up, won't go. Hicks breaks it loose, and then runs up behind Monroe and fouls Mike.
Yeah, Thacker broke that ball out, but couldn't come down with it cleanly. And Hicks, a nice open field tackle.
Ricky only 5'7", a freshman out of Coatesville. Mike Monroe, believe it or not, has not scored tonight. Played good hard D as he always does, but looking for that first point, and there it is. Millersville 64, the Rams 47.
Monroe's really come a long way in the last 2-3 weeks, Bill. Still 1 for 2 foul shooting.
And you know, the guard trio of Bradfield, Monroe, and Troy Daniels all back next year, along with Gaines and some pretty talented recruits. I understand you and Dr. Carpenter talked a little bit about that at halftime.
Yes, indeed. Sizable recruits.
Lawton. Nope. Whoop. I heard some slapping up here, but no whistle. Because Millersville does lose to graduation. Thacker, Lawton, and Hughes.
Okay, it's a little slapping down underneath. They didn't catch that. Now as
well, they caught Thacker doing something, an elbow, I think. And I got Carlton Thacker for 4. And that causes John Cochan to call timeout because he's in a position where he must revamp his lineup a bit. Thacker will have to spend time on the bench with 4 personals with 10:06 left in the game. Millersville leads by 17, but Thacker's in foul trouble. We'll be right back.
All the names, all the games, all the time. ESPN, the Total Sports Network.
Jim, we were just informed during that timeout that Carlton Thacker, in fact, has 22 points, and that matches his career high. So my assumption that he was getting close to his career high was right on. His 22 points matches his career high, but again, he's on the bench right now with 4 personals.
Rob Bard replacing him, so you have Bard and Gaines in the backcourt, and Lawton, and Hughes and Bradfield. 2-guard, kind of a 3-forward offense.
All right, here's Caparola. He dumps down low to Ward. Ward's been hot this half.
Yes, he has.
And Derek Ward has all 8 points in the last 10 minutes. 64-49. Marauders by a precarious 15 with Thacker on the bench. A lot of time left, 9.5 minutes. Oh, there's a mismatch. Hughes has to take Ricky Hicks to the hole, and he does.
Good observation. Claudius was down there just begging for the ball.
Now Hicks tries to use his quickness on Hughes, and it doesn't work. Hughes is Millersville's, as you might guess, best defender. Bradfield left alone, throws it up short. Lawton follows it in.
Rob with kind of an excuse me rebound. He either captured that rebound or it was going to hit him in the face. Put it back up. 68-49. Millersville with the last 2 buckets.
Peterson. Millersville stays in the man-to-man, and now there's a switch, and no one has Hicks. He'll take the shot and hit it. Just inside the 3. Ricky Hicks.
Basket by Hicks, 68-51.
Good movement away from the ball resulted in Hicks getting open.
Look out. Caparola pushes Bradfield from behind. His second foul, and Bob will shoot the 1-and-1.
Number 14, Caparola is second. Bradfield shoots.
Bradfield, very smart player. He knew who he had behind him, and knew how to get him off his back.
Bob Bradfield is 2 for 3 from the free throw line. He's got 10 points on the night. Bobby, the junior out of Altoona, Pennsylvania. Altoona had a couple pretty good players a few years back when Doug West and now at Villanova and Bob Bradfield were seniors. 2 for 2.
Is that the first time that happened tonight for Millersville, Bill? 2 for 2?
Yes, it is. 70-51. The Marauders by 19. There's a foul, pretty obvious one, as Bradfield returns the favor. 3 on Bobby. And this guy doesn't miss. He's 6 for 6, is Mark Caparola. 18 points on the night.
Outstanding style of play. He draws those fouls, and then over and above all else, he can shoot them. Monroe replaces Bob Bradfield, and he will have the unenviable task of guarding Mark Caparola.
Caparella is an 87% free throw shooter. Doesn't surprise me, as he is now 7 for 7 in this one. Oh, he missed one, and Gaines has the rebound.
Somebody has a loud horn here. That could be very disconcerting.
I think it's an 18-wheeler. Hughes misses rebound. Tommy Gaines, nice job. Misses the jump hook, and there's Monroe.
Ward and O'Malley fighting over that rebound, and Monroe just took it away.
Gaines misses. Well, there's a lot of battling underneath. Look at Hughes.
Hughes underneath. Beautiful job. Claude finally took charge of that bouncing ball.
There's the 20-point lead for Millersville. Their first as Caparella misses a 3. Hicks will try a tray. It pops out. Look out, Hughes is going to the hole. He's got another.
With a scoop, no less.
Claudius has 22 to tie Thacker now. Millersville with their largest lead at 22. 7:15 left in the game.
Oh, look at O'Malley pushing Rob Bard.
I'm sure Bard was reminding the official of that as well. Gaines in the middle, short.
Short, and he was shooting over Little Hicks.
Well, play is fast and furious. I'll tell you, Westchester just keeps running and gunning.
Peterson.
They got a 3 there from Tommy Peterson.
He's been hot. He's been hot.
And now the Rams call timeout, trying to restore a little order on that Peterson tray. They're down by 19 with 6:53 left in the game. We'll take this break.
It's yours?
No,
Mother said she found it in your closet.
I don't know. One of the guys
Must have what?
Look, Dad, it's
Where did you get it?
Dad,
Answer me. Who taught you how to do this stuff?
You, all right? I learned it by watching you.
Parents who use drugs have children who use drugs.
Well, remember, fans, if the Marauders win here tonight and Cheney loses to Kutztown, as it is shaping up to happen, Millersville in a real strong position to finish second in the PSAC East. Not definite because they still have Mansfield and Stroud to go, but they will be heavy favorites in both of those games. And if Millersville does in fact finish second, they will host the first round of the playoffs as the first place team, who would beat Kutztown, gets a bye. Look at this long pass to Gaines. Tommy can't control though, and he's into the first row. And that would be Monday the 29th, just to finish that thought, Jim. Monday the 29th, the Marauders would host the first round of the playoffs, probably against Cheney.
Millersville using the basketball equal of the no-huddle play.
Nice jumper there by Mike O'Malley. His first bucket of the night. And now there's
a lot of pressure.
A lot of trapping going on in the backcourt, and Westchester realizes with 6.5 left and down by 17, Jim, they need to sort of throw caution to the wind here.
Well, they've used a lot of people.
They should be fresh, and they're not in any real foul trouble. Bradfield goes right down the paint and scores.
Passed up Gaines on the baseline, but puts it down.
Bradfield now with 14 and very quietly having another dandy game. 22 apiece for Thacker and Hughes to lead the Marauders. Here's O'Malley again, and all of a sudden he's 2 for 2.
Well, he's taken Thacker out away from the basket, where Big Carlton really doesn't want to be.
Here's the double team. Bradfield gets it into the forecourt to Lawton, who dumps to Thacker, who's alone. He's got 24, and that is a new career high for Carlton Thacker.
Nice pass by Rob Lawton. Lawton has unselfishly given up several shots tonight to set up his teammates.
Good rebound by Lawton as Caparella missed the 3. Hughes leaves it for Gaines. Tommy a little short, maybe getting a little tired.
Yeah, he's been having to play, I'm sure, more than he intended at the beginning of the evening's activities due to the loss of Daniels.
There's that Caparella again. He keeps Westchester hanging close. Thacker down low, hooks and scores. He's fouled.
Derek Ward hit with the foul. Thacker's somebody that's got to be getting tired too, Bill. He's been on the court a lot tonight.
Carlton Thacker now with 26. And Tommy Gaines does go out as John Kochan, I think, noticed what we picked up here, that Tommy getting short and those little hooks underneath must be getting tired. Bard is back. What a night for this guy, the 7'1" senior out of Annapolis, Maryland. Proves he's human. He misses that free throw.
He's in the team program. He missed a foul shot.
Yeah. Look at Ward hitting the boards, and Derek Ward has 10 all this half. 80-64, exactly 5 minutes left in the contest. Bard, he's all alone, but misses the layup. Ward has the rebound. Hicks penetrates, dishes nicely to O'Malley. And Westchester will not roll over. They're down by 14. Millersville patiently sets up the half-court offense. 4:25 left.
This is a tight man-to-man defense.
Hughes turns and misses, and another purple-shirted rebound. They can cut it to 12 or maybe 11. Look at that save by Caparella. O'Malley's been hot, but he won't get this one.
Millersville has to be a little bit more deliberate, Bill, and they're going to be deliberate for about a minute. As Coach John Cochan says, we want to talk this over. Millersville ahead 82-66 with 4 minutes remaining in the game.
All the names, all the games, all the time. ESPN, the Total Sports Network.
Jim, not only does Carlton Thacker have a career-high 26 points, he has 13 rebounds and 6 block shots. So a big ball game for the 7-1 center, Carlton Thacker. Right now, Millersville winning by 14.
You know something you don't have a statistic on, Bill? How many shots have had their trajectory altered?
Because of him, you bet.
Because he's in there with his hands up in the air. I just noticed a shot down from the baseline that did not go in.
Well, the Rams staying in that man-to-man. Thacker, though, got another one. He's fouled, and he can't be stopped. When you're 7-1 and you're getting the ball in the low post like that, and then you can hit that 6 to 8 footer, and he's been doing it all night, it's unstoppable.
He certainly has. His shot percentage has to be phenomenal this evening.
Foul was on Derek Ward. He's got 3 of them. Rebound by Lawton. He puts it back in.
A 4-point play as Lawton converts the errant foul shot.
That sure helped because Westchester had a little mini run going there. Look at Ward. He has done a much better job.
And another blocked shot.
And
now, you want to see a real battle royal going on. Check out O'Malley and Bard, 33 and 44. They are fighting tooth and nail down there in the pivot.
That ball goes out of bounds off of the Marauders. Thacker's 9 for 9 with these field goals in this half, and he's 13 of 14 in the game. Is that what I'm reading?
That's
was just
exactly
handed
right. Just handed us by SID Greg Wright to support what I just alluded to.
That's basically unbelievable. 3-point shot is good for Peterson. He ought to shoot more of them. He's tough. What do we have? Another timeout?
Yeah.
Boy, what do these teams each get 10?
I think it's 12.
3. There's a timeout every minute, folks. And here's our timeout with 3:08 left. Millersville leading by 15. And we'll keep it here as you look into the Ram huddle with first-year coach Dick Delaney, and now the Marauder huddle.
At least with all these timeouts, we have finally gotten our hot dogs consumed. Troy Daniels sitting behind the Marauder bench.
Actually sitting on the end of it there with Tommy Gaines.
Yeah, true.
Looks like they got the gloves off of Troy. If you were not with us earlier, about midway through the first half, in case you're wondering why Troy Daniel is sitting on the bench, there was an altercation. Always like that word. And it involved initially Bobby Bradfield, and I don't even recall the Ram player at this point, but a scuffle broke out. Daniel came from, if you will, the other side of the floor and did land a punch, and that punch that he landed cost him an early shower. He was ejected at that point. Both teams assessed with bench technicals, and play resumed, and I might add things have been real good shape ever since.
Triple trap.
Whoop. Everything went well except Lawton missed the ball.
Yeah, big Carlton Thacker helping to break the press, but how many steps are they going to give that kid?
Here comes Lawton out of control, though. Whistle.
Got a tackle on Hughes. Caparola can't believe it.
He's been surprised a lot tonight. Mark Caparola commits his third. It's desperation time, really, for the Rams as they're hacking and scratching and fouling and doing all the things you have to do when there's only 2:46 left, and you're on the short end of a 15-point score. Here's Hughes.
Well, this is kind of what the experts, if you will, wanted. We were told before the game that the spread in the sports rating information services had given Millersville a 13-point advantage. Hughes hits 2.
And they're up by 17 right now with 2:40 left. Hughes with 24, exceeding his average by a couple of points, so he's having another big ball game on the heels of that 44-point outburst at Cheney the other night.
Look at that Thacker guarding Hicks.
He might get lost in his trunks or something. There's a miss by Ward. Hicks runs it down. Hicks is at 5'7", lays it up under, around, and through the 7-1 Thacker.
Well,
Look at Hughes.
He got the ball up there in a hurry because that way the only way Thacker could stop it was to trap it on the glass, which would be tending.
Plus, Carlton must be a little careful. Let's remind you, he's playing with 4 personal fouls.
Peterson draws his 4th foul. Claude Hughes going to the line.
Millersville in a non-league game Monday night against Lock Haven, and we will be here. Cable 22 will have that game for you live, starting at about 7:50. Jim Doherty and myself, so we hope you plan on being with us on Monday night from right here at Fusillo Gym. Did he make that one,
yes,
Jim? Okay.
Yes. A 2 for 2 for Claude.
Hughes is having a pretty good night from the foul line, unlike most of his teammates. He's 5 for 6. Ward still loose, and Monroe has it. 2 minutes left in the game, and it's pretty much academic now as the Marauders lead by 17.
They're going to spread it out and take a little time off the clock.
Shot clock still has 30 seconds left, and of course we're going to have a foul parade right now as Rob Bard checks back in. Hicks commits his 3rd.
Rob Bard goes in for Carlton Thacker, and the big guy is getting a 100% ovation from this packed house. They know it's one of his finest hours in Millersville basketball.
If not the finest. We do know it's a career high as far as offensive output is concerned. 28 points. Nice pass by Hicks.
Ward wasn't ready for it.
Bradfield, reverse layup.
On the feed from Hughes.
Bobby Bradfield with a quiet 16, and the Marauders now by 19 again. And it's about serenade time as, Ward makes a nice move, gets the bucket and draws the foul from Bard. Derek Ward basically wasn't here in the first half, but boy, he's had a nice second half. Probably the most impressive Ram is Derek Ward in the second half. What's this, timeout? Okay. 1:28 left in the game. The Marauders call timeout. For some reason, leading by 17. And now the serenading begins.
1:28 seconds to play. I think it's, isn't it bench clear time? 17-point lead. It could be time to see.
You're probably right. We're going to see
Jason Jones, David Johnson, Ira Carr. Nobody else has been glued to the bench tonight. Everybody else has played.
By the way, I should mention that the Marauder women's team defeated tonight by the Westchester Ram. There's some fans enjoying their Saturday night at Fusillo. It was a dandy, but the Marauder ladies lost at 67-64. And a tough loss as you look at first-year coach Dick Delaney.
Well, this loss is not going to be quite so tough for him as it was for the Millersville ladies.
Well, Jim, you're absolutely right. Ira Carr is out there, number 4. David Johnson, number 12. And Jason Jones with Bard and Monroe. Here's Derek Ward. Derek is the freshman out of Central High in Philadelphia.
Had a very nice second half.
Yeah, 13 points in the second half, and here's pressure against the Millersville second team, and it creates a quick turnover.
Jason Jones throws it away.
You got to be a little careful here. A minute 27 seconds with the three-pointer. There's a new face, and wouldn't you know it, he cans one. That is Matt James. First time he's been in the lineup for the Rams. Matt James gets a bucket.
And another bad pass.
Well, this is going to be a 12-point ball game here in about a second. Oh, Peterson throws up a brick and a whistle. Somebody's tackling Monroe from behind.
They had the linebacker and the nose guard on him that time.
And there he is, Derek Ward.
Number 31 Ward is fourth.
Fourth on Derek.
Tonight's game, if all goes as it has been going, will drop Westchester to 5-5 and drop them into a tie with Bloomsburg and advance the Marauders to 7-3 and a tie with Cheney. So essentially Kutztown would be your leader. Cheney and Millersville tied for second. Bloomsburg, Westchester tied for third with Mansfield and East Stroud bringing up the bottom.
Monroe makes them both, and Mike's 3 points are all from the free throw line tonight. Millersville by 16. Now we're under a minute as Ricky Hicks looks for an opening. Here's Matt James. James going to try again. Nope. Look at that follow-up.
Tap, number 30.
Another new player, Pat Miller. What happened? I was looking down to see who number 30 was, and we have a whistle. Throwing somebody out, I think.
I think Peterson just picked up his 5th foul.
He did. He's gone regardless.
Plus he got hit with a tee. Take it from me. That's the time to get a technical foul. You know, after you've fouled out, then there's no hard feelings, no recrimination. You vent your frustration and go to the showers.
Tommy Peterson fouls out with 16, and a pretty good night for the 6'3 senior, particularly here in the second half when he scored 10 of his 16 points.
Yeah, he plays pretty big, you know. In this club, a lot of people have to play bigger than their stature. They don't have that much height.
92-78. Marauders will win their 16th game of the year overall.
David Johnson shoots the technical. Monroe shot the personal. It's like we get another technical. Now we get the ball out of bounds. David says, hey, I want another chance at it. I can do it.
Won't get that chance. Jason Jones will inbound. 48 seconds remain. Fans are starting to leave. There's Bard wide open, and he'll jam that one home. Rob's second bucket of the night, and he enjoyed that one. 94-78 Millersville.
Now he's matched up with O'Malley. He's met him before.
You know, Westchester has to play Kutztown and Cheney yet. So they got a rough final week.
They
Just
indeed
the
do.
opposite of the kind of week the Marauders have, with Mansfield on the road and Stroud next Saturday.
I'll tell you, Kutztown and Cheney facing Westchester. The Rams could go out losing their last 3 games.
Conceivably. This guy, speaking of nice second halves, Derek Ward, back at the line again.
Yeah, he's just a freshman out of Philadelphia. He's going to be a good one.
Misses, but he gets 2, I believe. Yeah, that was in the act of shooting, so Derek will get another shot at it. I mentioned before, 13 points for Ward all this half.
Another
14 now. Somehow I don't think we've seen the end of the foul shooting.
Nor the turnovers, nor the end of Derek Ward scoring.
Ward with a nice pass as he gives it up, but the layup is missed, and now another whistle missed by Pat Miller. With 13 seconds left.
I think Monroe took that one.
Yep.
Good foul. You can't let anybody put up a shot like that.
Pat Miller will go to the line. He's a freshman out of Oakton, Virginia, a 6'1 guard.
Gets a foul.
Well, interesting game tonight. Millersville in a real dogfight early with the Rams, as Miller gets them both. And then they began to assert themselves late in the half when they took the 8-point halftime lead, blew that baby open to 20. There's Matt James picking the pocket of Jones. And O'Malley lays it in at the buzzer. But it's obviously not enough, as the final score will read Millersville 94 and Westchester 83. We'll be back with our wrap-up right after this.
This is a plug for James F. Wild with 8 locations in Lancaster to serve you.
The restaurant that cares for you. That's our motto at the Stone Mill Family Restaurant at 1550 Columbia Avenue, Lancaster. And we do care for you with a daily breakfast special until 11 a.m. and our buy one, get one free specials on Tuesday and Friday. Tuesday offers our delectable baked chicken, and Friday it's fried or broiled flounder fresh from the sea, both at buy one, get one free prices. For early or late dining in our fresh new atmosphere, sample our daily super specials from 2 to 4 and 8 to 10 p.m. The place for good food at special prices is the Stone Mill Family Restaurant, the restaurant that cares for you.
It's your call. You can enjoy the fresh baked quality from Domino's Pizza or take your chances with the Noid. You can have pizza made to your order, or you can count on our famous 30-minute delivery, or you can taste the quality from Domino's Pizza, so avoid the Noid. Domino's Pizza delivers. Call now.
Well, it's all over here at Fusillo Gym, and Millersville really took a big step Wednesday night when they beat Cheney by 2 on the road, Jim. A big step toward hosting the first round of the playoffs, and then solidified that step with a big win over a pesky, that's the way Greg Wright referred to him, a pesky Westchester team, winning by 12 here at Fusillo Gym, particularly considering the fact they lost Troy Daniels and he never scored a point.
Exactly right, but you know, when you say a big win, the big win was provided in large part by the big man. Carlton Thacker had 18 second-half points. He just took charge. He went down low in the pivot, and it's just like, give me the ball, guys. Shot a phenomenal percentage from the floor, played good defense, rebounded well. He just took charge of the entire area within about 10 feet radius of the basket. Claude Hughes took charge of the rest of the court. But really, it was Thacker that sparked the victory. We had a close game at the point where Daniels was ejected. Close game coming down until about 3 minutes to go in the first half, when Thacker began to assert himself against the undersized Rams. No doubt about it. And from there, it was just on to a Marauder victory.
Thacker, with a sensational night, missed only 1 shot from the floor, finished with a career-high 28, also had 14 rebounds. Some of these stats are unofficial, so we hope that we are right on with them. In addition, Hughes had 26, as Jim said, and a quiet 16 for Bobby Bradfield, 10 for Rob Lawton. And by the way, a side note, if you will, an asterisk, a footnote, Rob Lawton becomes the 10th leading scorer in the history of Millersville basketball with an early bucket that he had tonight. So all in all, a real big victory for the Marauders. They go 16 wins overall in the year, 7-3 in the league, and they'll be ready for Mansfield on the road Wednesday night. But before we get to that, we want to remind you folks that on Monday night, we'll be back here at Fusillo Gym as the Marauders get ready for Mansfield with a non-league contest against Lock Haven. Should be a good one, and we'll be here at about 7:50 Monday night on Cable 22. We surely hope you enjoyed tonight's contest, and if so, you say thank you to the sponsors who make it possible, and we'll mention them right now in closing. They are, as always, the Lancaster Futon Company, James F. Wild, the Sugar Bowl, Millersville's Costume Shop, the Stone Mill Family Restaurant, Armour School of Business, Domino's Pizza, Harwilco Cycle, Subway Sandwiches, Durs Amico, Hardee's Restaurants, and the Millersville Alumni Association. For all of us at Cable, Jim Doherty, Bill Arnold, and the entire crew saying so long from Millersville's Fusillo Gym, with the final again, the Marauders starting a brand new home winning streak, defeating Westchester 94-83.